Me and YouTube have been having an interesting, I think it was a little out of kilter for the holidays. Let me see. I'm drawing this skull hand holding an eyeball. I'm not really sure. All right. How's everybody doing? Late night. I was thinking about different. I don't know why I was thinking about skeleton hands. I do not know. I saw a drawing I drew of like a letter opener or dagger, and it was a hand. This is a long time ago, and I only saw it for a second. So, and at the wrist, that's where the blade came out. The letter opener blade, something like that. And then this was like a hand for shaking, like a hand in the shaking hands position. That's not it. This 1, 2, 3. Okay. 2. 2. Something like that. Really weird thing about the hand for me when I started learning all the anatomy is like this is just a bone. Like these fingers go all the way down to the wrist. It's just that they don't have their own individual skin socks anymore. And the second bone being like this one is half as long as the one before it. Oh, you know, as a general rule of thumb. And then this one's half as long again. So we're like looking at it. Yeah. I should look up what a tibia and fibia look like, because I just have these guys here. Let me look at it. Oh, the great Google. Is it forearm? Yeah, forearm bones. So somebody once pointed out that like your forearm bones twist over each other like a lot of the time. Hey, Butter, welcome. I'm like, that's so strange. Because, well, I just don't know. I don't know how forearm bones work. But, yeah. Wait, ulna and radius. What was I saying? Fibia and tibia? I'm not sure. I'm trying to find like I don't have my anatomy book, my art anatomy book. It's somewhere missing. Okay, so if this is this, then this front one is the radius. And this back one is the ulna. So it's the radius that has the big boy on the bottom. There we go. So it's something like that. We'll add a little shadow and that'll look real nice. And remember, like, if you mess up on bones or something, the only people who are going to notice are people who really like skeletons. That's your your smallest group of people who are going to notice, like kids who studied bones recently or somebody whose hyperfixation is skeletons. They're going to notice. Some doctors are going to notice, and then skeletons. Those are the three groups of people who. So you can mess up on bones, is what I'm saying. You don't have to be too strict. It's going to look real to. Oh, artists might notice. So I was going to have the thumb like kind of stick out over here. You can sort of see I started it there, but let's just have it like that. I think that is. And then sometimes I think of like, because if a skeleton were going to actually, like if this was, say, an object, the skeleton would be wired together. So sometimes I draw little nails or pins or wires. And pretend that this is like an artifact. I like the idea that this is some like gem, like an eye that's like a gem. Yeah, so I'd say the biggest thing for getting better at drawing is there's there's like one thing that's helpful and one thing. So the helpful thing, right, is if you draw something and you think it's bad, that can be good, and then you can figure out the next steps to making something you like more. And then so I drew these Steffies, Stella and Steffi. They're stuffies, and I drew them. I draw them for my wife as a comic every morning when she wakes up. She has this little Stella Steffi comic, and they've developed their own little style. This is them. This is one of them. And like, if you can draw whatever you're drawing, for me it's this right now, just so I had a drawing to explain it with. Like, there's some things that I don't like about this, and that's good. That means I can draw a better one, right? And I think that's an important step, is like looking at a drawing you've done and being like, why don't I like this? And I think as long as you can do that, you can get better at drawing. For me, for instance, this one, her legs should be a little bit longer. Her belly should be just a little bit shorter. Her face should be a little bit rounder. And her trunk is weird. It's covering one of her eyes. And if I made those changes, she would look like a perfect Stella for Stella and Steffi. But if I didn't know what was wrong, if I didn't know how to fix it, then how could I draw a better one? So that is pretty good. That's pretty important. And then I draw that every day, even though it's a relatively simple drawing. Just drawing that every day has really helped me get better, because like this is her just looking at you straight forward, and you think like a stuffy, relatively simple, but if we want to draw her, say, sitting on the floor, I do two dots, two circles for almost any Stella Steffi drawing, and then you have one leg coming out this way, and one leg going out that way, tail, arms, and like the first couple times I ever drew her sitting on the floor, it looked crazy. It did not look like a, oh, and trunk is all wonky again. All right, I should have left the original wonky try. Like, I made it worse somehow. Yeah, the first couple times I drew her sitting on the floor, it looked terrible. But because I'm drawing her every day, I'm like starting to learn. I took it. I helped me learn like sort of 3D space on the page and that kind of thing. So if you can, even if it's the same damn thing, whatever you like to draw, draw it. Draw it as much as possible. That's gonna help. No problem, Butter. Good luck. Enjoy. It's a really great thing. It can be a good way to, I don't know, do all sorts of stuff. To find my style. So that's an interesting question because it took me a long time to find my style. I you know, like many, if not every, well, like every artist essentially, I spent a lot of time learning how to draw and illustrate like other people. You know, you learn from these masters, and in learning, you necessarily imitate them, right? Like, you're not going to learn how to draw like uh, Chuck Jones, for instance, unless you draw like Chuck Jones. And so I think that that's a really important part of the journey. But yeah, it makes it really hard to know what your own style is. And I think some people are lucky and they've been drawing since they were a kid, before they were imitating people, and they sort of develop their style naturally before it even becomes a question. And I think in some ways I did that because I was really lucky to have the opportunities to draw a lot as a kid. But in some ways, I think like I was a mimicker, and I don't even know what really. Somebody said like, "Oh, I really like this piece you just did," and I was like, "Oh, that's not done." And they were like, "No, it's done. It's like much better than anything you draw. Like I didn't know you could draw this good." And for me, it was like a thing I did in between my first, like when I first started drawing and when I thought something was finished. And they were telling me like, I've never seen you draw anything this good. This is great. And like I was drawing that style, that thing every day. Every drawing I ever did had a little bit of that in it. And so I was like, oh, I'm not stopping at the right place. I am overdrawing, right? I'm going so far. And I think this is a problem for a lot of people. And so once I knew that, so I guess what I'm saying is like, you're not a great judge of what people are going to like. So don't decide something is bad because maybe it's not. I think that's I think that's as good as I can do. Oh my gosh. Let's give this, I guess we're making like a squirrel girl type. Tower be slightly turned away from us. We'll have her arms crossed. How do people's arms crossed look? Kind of down on the inside, up, down, up. There we go. Like a paw here. I don't know if she'll have paws or hands at this point, but there we go. A tail, but a human body? Yeah. Well, I might not even get to the body because this is really low on the page. I think we'll keep the hips more or less facing us. So it's like she's in the process of turning away. So shoulders like this. And then the tail would come from here. All right. Let's do another one. We did Squirrel Girl. We could do Squirrel Girl again because this was unplanned and strange. But we could also do another something girl or something guy or something pal. Let's finish Squirrel Girl up. This is not Squirrel Girl, the Marvel character. Just I'm not trying to draw that. She's great. It's just not what I started out doing. This is more Chipmunk Girl. Yeah, let's say this is Chipmunk Girl. She's wearing like Y2K fashion, so she has a really long shirt. I think I'm just going to give her, what is this color? Carnation pink. It sounds bubblegummy enough for me. Just a little for the nose, a little for the cheeks, inside of the ears. The tasteful thickness. Oh man. Don't do that. Just in case. Interesting. I tried experimenting with colorizers in the early like a couple of years ago, I was doing a lot of colorization of old black and white photos and like trying to get them, looking presentable, looking like modern photos. Not that they're unpresentable, but sometimes it's nice to have a color photo from when photos are from back in the day before there was color photos. Although really, like, we had color photos from very early on that just wasn't easy to do. But I saw somebody do a color photo process. I think it's I think it's Technology Connections. He's a great YouTuber if you're a nerd or you like that kind of thing. Um, he used a really old school process to make color photos with like pretty high definition color. Oh yeah. I love his videos on fridges. He has a couple, right? I think he has two. But he has the experiment one. Um, yeah, he is great. Yeah, upscaling is something I would definitely use AI for. Like, that is exactly the kind of thing I think AI is moral for and is good for. Um, yeah, like I would even probably upscale like old images. I think as long as you're checking and like for that kind of thing, well, if you're checking and stuff, that's going to improve the quality. But especially if it's for your personal media collection, I would or a personal photo collection, I would upscale um, photos, no problem. Or images of old CD cases that you're trying to replace. I didn't plan her body out, so it's not wrong, but it's a little huff. Anyway, I'm gonna do just like, just a little, hey, just a little brown. All right. An amalgam of eyes pouring out of a china teacup. All right. It sounds pretty good. Yeah, I agree. It's like a lot of like capitalism, right? There's the expression, there's no ethical consumption under late stage capitalism. And I think just like with that, like, yes, that's true, but that doesn't mean do nothing. It doesn't mean give up. I mean, maybe it does to you. I think, like you said, that's um, a personal thing, right? That's why usually on the channel I try to talk about it. Oh man, I haven't watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force in so long, but I think about it a lot. Uh, I try to talk about like the legality of what's done and not like the use cases and stuff. Um, but like more about how AI was trained and that kind of thing. Because I think like you're saying, it's really hard to decide that kind of thing. I hope it gets to the point. There's a theory. So we don't know. There's a. Where's my big We don't know how. So right now there's the theory that if we give more compute, we will get more powerful and intelligent AI. Hey, Birdman, it's been a while. How are you doing? I'm drawing what's it called? A teacup, a china teacup, pouring out an amalgam of eyes. I'm just getting my circle good. Teacups, any kind of dishware, because it's so symmetrical, I like to be careful with. Some people still say it looks like a circle. No. It's hard. Like, even stuff that I feel like, oh, this should be easy. Like, I draw something that's really close to that all the time, and then I'll go to try to draw it, and it'll just suck. And I'll have to give it a couple of practice runs. I'm trying to think. There's definitely something like that recently where I was like, oh, I got this. And like, reader, I did not have it. Oh, I was doing snowflakes, and the first like handful I did were so bad. And then I just needed a little bit of practice. Yeah. I don't have a list tonight, so if you got something, I'll put it in there. I mean, yeah, we can do a list tonight, but I haven't, one's not started. That's the. Like, I'm not sure what we're doing, but we're trying to keep it weird. So if you can keep it weird. This kind of thing, mugs. So I draw coffee, tea quite a lot because probably, if I'm honest, probably because caffeine is a drug. And I think about it a lot because I love caffeine. But on a lighter note, just because I like coffee a lot, a stick of butter for no reason. All right. Ooh, the channel logo. Bring it around town, SpongeBob. Okay. Let's not do characters tonight, um, Birdman. I mean, we can make up characters, right? But let's try to do more original stuff. More original stuff. Okay. Yeah, so I find this particular piece of not furniture, handles on ceramics hard because like it feels just really two-dimensional, and but you don't want to be looking at it straight on from the side because that doesn't really feel super realistic because like it just makes it look very 2D if you're trying to draw a 3D thing, even if everything else has all the hints of three dimensions like this does here. If this was like straight on from the side, it could look very strange. So also we're going to do amalgam of eyeballs. So we want a straight line towards the ground, right? Because that's how, so we can determine where it's going to be pouring out. That's how liquids work. So it'll be something around here. We'll make it pretty viscous. And maybe it doesn't act exactly like a normal fluid. All right, we don't need these anymore. Yeah, worm riding a skateboard with a hat. Let me write that down. Worm. And then we had bear paws in a stick of butter. Sounds good. Yeah, we can do. I wonder what. So we wouldn't see the bottom, which is where a logo would be printed on like a china, fine china. But what we could do, and what I think we will do, is we can add like a decorative flair. Like sometimes there's like a line around the outside here, the rim, the cup, I guess, just cup. So we can do something like that. We can do like C. Do I have an M? Let's see. This is kind of magenta. Nicotine gum. Don't smoke. Y. Okay. And then I think really you would also want like the magenta, which is the monster, to have maybe like some monster horns every once in a while. And that's what would make it CMonsterYK. There we go. Oh, cool. Oh, it stopped showing me the crowns. That's really funny. Oh, I was thinking instead of the worm wearing the hat, we would have the skateboard wear the hat. And then that solves the whole digging problem. Wait, do all worms dig? No, right? Like the vast majority of worms probably just like live in your blood. Not your blood particularly. Okay. So now we're gonna choose some like globules to turn into eyes. So there's two choices we have to make, right? We have to make the choice of the shape, and kind of like that includes like where in the depth it is, because like this one's in all the way up front, right? But you might have one here that has like this shape that's back, and then again like this one up front again. So like we have to make choices like that. I figure most of them are going to be long because it's like pouring, and that's what liquid kind of does when it pours. Make ones right along the edge that are like really like in the process of being stretched out. Make one that's just starting. So then the other choice we have to make with these Wait, something I said? Oh, iced tea. That's pretty good. I was trying to read that thickness. That's a good one. Is where the eyeball is facing. So like for this one, let's have it facing like this way. Oh, let me get back over. So you have the pupil and the iris. I'm just going by sense of feel. I'm not really. Ooh, yeah, this one should be stretched out with the. Oh, okay, okay. The blood on your eyes. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I was just thinking about it. I read a lot of like archaeological and history discoveries, and very often they're like, "Oh my God, we found out this really cool thing about these people who lived here." And you're like, "Awesome, what is it?" And they're like, "They had all these parasites, all of them." And you're like, "This is okay. That's great. I'm glad archaeologists like this." Like, does it tell us anything like where they used to live or what they did? It tells us they probably didn't cook their fish. And you're like, all right. So I think about that because I read about it surprisingly often. Oh yeah, I didn't want them all to be super defined. So we'll pull a little bit of the definition. Yeah, like that. There we go. Let's get just a couple more. Okay. I'm going to do some of these outlines first. And then we'll do some of the iris things. Maybe this one we don't see the pupil. Same with this one. It's all iris. Ugh. And you'd be able to see them, right? Like, like sometimes you can see the veins in the in your eyelids when you blink really fast on a really bright day. I don't think you have to blink that fast. But when you blink on a really bright day, it scared the hell out of me the first time I saw it. I think I was like really old when I found out you could that could be a thing. Yeah, yeah. The Bay, I don't know it. Okay, let's erase some. Ooh, actually, let's keep that and just let it be background um, liquid. Okay, we'll erase some of these guidelines, some of these scrabbles, scribbly scrabbles. And then we will define some of these. Where's my, here we go. We will better define some of these pupils. I saw Kurt Cobain's pants that he wore in the video for Heart-Shaped Box. I just learned this fact. I don't know how old it is. Sold at auction for like $43,000 or something. That's nuts. I think I get it. He he wore them around a lot. And they just look like it. They do look like a nice pair of pants. So that's something else. Okay. It's an amalgam. No? No. Oh, it's iced tea. Sorry, I stole that from thickness. Oh, should we color some of these irises in? I'm getting ready to do it. I think it'll look the best. I think it's the way to really make this pop. I was just thinking about how it's like not going to look as good because we're not doing color. But then I realized that the only reason we're not doing color is because I thought we wouldn't do color, but we can just do color. Some amalgam. We'll start with the brown, because, you know, is brown the most common eye color? I sort of just assumed it is. Oh, is it like hazel? Like that brown green mixy color, whatever that is? Should we do a reflection, I guess? The reflection would be like in a little bit of a different spot for every eye. Eh, something like that. Okay, yeah, brown. Yeah, brown makes sense. And then like sometimes I wonder, are people's eyes just gonna go to um like genetically, do eyes get lighter, or have they just been getting darker and dark? No, I mean I guess they must get lighter, right? Because blue eyes is a relatively new mutation. They like know when and where the first blue-eyed person existed, and everybody who has blue eyes is in some way descendant from this person. Just such a crazy idea. Oh, and that gets me thinking about like, yeah, unknown planet. It's a an amalgam of eyeballs. So like a whole bunch of them. Because today we're doing the weird. Late Night Live. Wow. The electric guitar riff. Do one hazel. or whatever. I don't know. I'm not trying to tell people how to identify their eyes. I've seen yellow eyes. It's strange. And then I've seen like basically a purple eye, like a very, very light purpley like eye. I've seen blue. I mostly have seen like there's also gray. That's my eyes are gray. Oh, thank you so much, Birdman. Yeah, yeah, that is so true. Like, it can definitely be bred out, but yeah, mutations, like, there's probably a group of people with eye colors. Well, so there's always people with eye colors that don't fit the natural normal. I say natural, they're all natural. Don't fit the quote unquote normal distribution of eye colors. Um, the normal, like what we think of as normal, because mutations are constantly happening. Okay, we're gonna go in and add some shadows. Okay, that'll help. Some of these are like shadows in between, just like because it's two spheres meeting and there's like kind of a butt. Oh yeah, that's crazy. I have heard of red eyes. I've seen red eyes from albinism. I went to school with a kid who was an albino. And but yeah, I've heard that there can be red eyes that are not caused by that. Um, and they look very different. Exceedingly rare, just like violet eyes are exceedingly rare. And then this is all like a lot of people also have like flecks or different inclusions and stuff, right? So like it's not like you have blue eyes and that's it. It's 100% blue. You might have blue eyes with yellow flecks, or you might have blue eyes with green flecks, or green eyes with blue flecks, or gray eyes with black flecks, or whatever it is. And there's flecks, and then there's like those like kind of like ribbons, whatever those are. I just know this from drawing eyes. Whoops. Oh well, it's there forever. Yeah, for real, for real. Hey, Axel, welcome. All right. Let's do the teacup in some cream. I think we have a cream guy here. Yeah. Well, at least do the inside. We'll go lighter than And then we'll use cream here for the shadows also. Feels pretty good. Oh, neat. Yeah, mine's gray with dark gray. Which I like. I like my eyes fine. For a long time, I'd never. So I guess I'm certainly neurodivergent. Um, I haven't had a super thorough psych evaluation in a very long time, but uh, I didn't look people in the eye for a very long time. Like I, one of the most common things I heard as a little kid was look at me when I'm talking to you, look me in the eye. And so when I'm looking somebody in the eye, well, now it's different, but for a long time when I was looking somebody in the eye, I was just thinking really hard to make sure I kept looking them in the eye. And so I was like, they're gonna be mad if I look away. I have to know. They have to know I'm talking to them. This is how people know that I'm listening, as I'm looking them in the eye. And because of that, I never noticed anybody's eye color. Yeah, I just don't now look people in the eye. Like I might if it's like a social situation and we're just like, I mean, not a social, like it's a like maybe my first time meeting somebody, or like it's a business thing and I need like they're a client. Because I know people like that, I will do it to try to put them at ease. But if it's a friend or family, like I just can't. If they want the full version of me that's like actually paying attention, um, they don't want me to be looking them in the eyes. And I think they know that mostly. Okay. Yeah, we could do just like a little hint of red, I think, throughout. Is a good idea. Because human stuff is red. Well, because animal stuff is often red. This iteration. There's some version of animals like in a different, like I don't know, in the Precambria or something, and they used like copper to move oxygen around the blood. Seems crazy to me. like what movies do I like? That's an interesting question. I've lately been watching a lot of old school movies, and that's been really fun. You know what movies I love and I will watch over and over again is like Ghibli, Studio Ghibli, or however you pronounce it, movies. I think those are great. I don't usually do this all. I've been doing it more and more lately. I think I'm gonna do some ink. Like I haven't watched Totoro in quite a while, but I would gladly watch Totoro or Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle or the one with Country Road or Kiki's Delivery Service. I think Kiki's Delivery Service is the one I watched the most, which is funny because I wasn't I thought it was good, but I wasn't a gigantic fan when I was younger, and now like I just like watching it. So I think those are probably, but I like lots of movies. I watch all sorts. I just watched like a really weird one. Miyazaki, yeah, is so amazing. Hemolymph, exactly. Whoa, I didn't know that about the spiders. That's great. I mainly now watch TV. I loved Superman. I thought Superman was great. Um, you know what I just watched? I went back and I watched all of the Justice League animated movies, all of the DC animated movies. I had a blast. Ah, I hate this back one. Yeah, it was really quite enjoyable. I had only watched a handful of them. I did not go back. Um, I think I started with Justice League, but I didn't go back and watch all the animated Batman movies. There's like four or five of them that are pre Justice League that are like take place in a different universe. They're not DCAU, they're I don't know. I think they're considered the Batman animated series universe. And I didn't watch those because I plan on watching the Batman animated series in its entirety again in the near future. And so I thought I would hold off and watch those all together. But right now is when there all the new TV happens. All the new TV that I like to watch is like coming out. Oh man, I have not watched The Bridge to Terabithia since I was young, and I watched it. And like, I don't even remember it. I know the story, but I do not remember watching it. I just remember like an intense feeling of sadness and being like kind of mad that I had watched it. I'm just gonna do a little shading with this line guy. Just like there, and maybe a little here, some here. I like zombie movies. Yes. This this Bruce Timm. On like I watched that movie and I got like how I'm still mad. I don't know how you're not like I somebody said that that happened freaking like 10 years ago and I was like that is like I'm still so upset. It's like it happened yesterday. Like I cannot believe friggin' Barbara Gordon and Bruce. Like no, that's not you sicko. No. I'm very passionate about this because what the hell? But oh my I'm heated right now. It to me the biggest thing is so first of all, I think it's a huge mischaracterization and a kind of a slap into the in the face of the character of Barbara Gordon. Like this was it was implied that like she that's part of the reason why she got into it and like no. Um Second of all, it is a terrible misunderstanding of well, the character of Batman. Ooh, Poltergeist the original is a good one. I watched the original Scream. Wait, did I watch the original? I knew I watched the most recent Scream. Yeah, I watched the original Scream. It's pretty fun. I hadn't seen it in a long time. That's not a scary movie, it's a slasher. But all right. And that turned out pretty good. What's the next thing on the list? Ooh, worm with a skateboard wearing a hat. Sorry, a worm skateboarding and wearing a hat. All right, so I think first things first, we have to figure out how the worm is skateboarding. So I'm going to draw the skateboard. Okay, that's the skateboard. You know, and we'll figure out the wheels and crap later. They'll be like here. Yeah. So then he's gonna you push off with your back foot. So he's gonna have to push off with his tail, I think. He's here. And he pushes off with his tail. So we can that'll just we don't need him to be pushing off right now, but we do need like that's how he would push off, is he would drop his tail down and just kick. So now that we've done that, we can sometimes I think about this stuff too much, but it's how I'm gonna be able to draw it. Oh, and then his will be his middle bit. What is this middle bit on earthworms, which is what I'm drawing by the way? Um I've never looked this up, which feels crazy to me because it's definitely the kind of thing I would look up. Like this middle bit that sticks out and kind of looks like a band-aid or something. Okay. All right. This is Wormiferex. Okay. Yeah. Unknown planet. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Oh, Oh, Satellum of the worm. Neat. I'm writing that down. Satellum. What is your satellum for, my little worm? What is your satellum for? Tell me so I learn. Satellum. It sounds like a magic spell. Is this is right? Yep. Yep, seems good. Okay. There. Oh, it was that part that was wrong. That's great. That's fine. Okay. Trucks. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum. This, that. Okay, well. We're not seeing that part anyway, it seems like. Wait, what am I? Why is this all? Yeah, that seems right. My edge of the, the edge of the board here got a little, like what's happening here? I feel like everything seems right. You have parallel lines here. What is this? You have these parallel lines here. Let's see. That. Oh, that wasn't parallel. So let's pop that out a little bit more. That seems fine. Is it just this angle? It just seems weird at the angle? Well, it's fine. If it looks very strange once we get into it. But let's keep moving. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's like Bruce is all about, if Bruce is about one thing, it's about honor, right? And if he's about two things, it's, well, no, maybe if Bruce is about one thing, it's about family. But then honor's a close second. And that is neither loving, caring for your family, or being honorable. And it's just like, how does somebody who seems to understand Batman so well have such a twisted idea of this aspect of the character? You know why I think it is? It's because this wasn't about Batman, right? It was about his understanding of Batgirl. And I think a lot of people like it feels very like he couldn't think of a reason. I don't, it just feels very, like sometimes somebody writes a female character and they're like, why do women do anything? Oh, I know, it must be because she wants to get with this guy, or she wants money, or she wants money so she can get with this guy. And you're like, no, she's probably doing it for the normal reasons that everyone does things. And they're like, what do you mean? And it feels like that. I'm not saying it's that because I feel like there's evidence that he's not like that in particular about other female characters, but it definitely makes you wonder. Like, was this just his headcanon? Like, for how long was he writing it like this? He's like, every 16-year-old girl, every 18-year-old girl wants to like that's how it just doesn't make sense. Like, get with their mentor, and every mentor would obviously it just that's what it feels like, right? It feels like super predatory. I try not to think about it. I mean, I do not believe that happened. I cannot live in a world where that is something that happened unless it gets directly referenced. I pretend it didn't happen. And Justice Third, yeah, totally right. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't it doesn't make sense. Like it's so it's so messed up on so many different levels. Like, what the fuck? There was a huge outcry when it happened. Nobody thought this was a good idea or was the right thing to do. And it's like I could not believe it. I watched the movie before I had heard any of the controversy, and like I genuinely I stopped and I texted my little brother and I was like, "Was this? Do you know about this? What the fuck is happening?" And then we had basically this exact conversation that we're having now. Although he gets really listen, I love my little brother, and I think everybody has problems with their brothers. I have a problem that is very mild, but it definitely comes into this conversation here. He is really, really forgiving of writers. Oh, I didn't notice that was referenced in Batman Beyond. I'll have to keep an eye out. Yeah, every few months I will go back. I say every few months. It's sometimes like more than a year, year and a half. I will go and I will get a bunch of comics. Hopefully the omnibuses are out and I can take those out from the library or borrow them. Um, and I try to read. I try to catch up. Batman back, depending on what's out. But I do both DC and Marvel. Although, I read different ones on different. Dang, what? I'm looking at it from this angle now, and it's like very clear that this wheel is weird. Yeah, yeah, I totally like mistakes happen, bad choices happen. Like, there's lots of things that happen. Um, but it like it feels crazy to me how little um I'm gonna do the top hat. We had the top hat emoji. Just gonna do it. Oh no. I was reading about Derby hats. which were like the hats cowboys used to wear. We think of them as wearing like cowboy hats, right? But they didn't really. Derby hat was by far the most common hat in the Wild West. And they don't have a huge brand. They're like so different. Let's see if we can find them. If we can. Yeah, it's my brother, like he just if he just has, yeah, like he not that he trusts the writers, but he just like he'll defend a property. You'll be like, this did something wrong and bad, and it doesn't represent like the established history of the character, or it doesn't represent like things that are good and right. It's like it's wrong. It's bad for because it's immoral or something like that. And basically, no matter what it is, he'll be like, well, but they did write it that way. And if you get down to like being like, no, this is wrong, he'll be like, well, they must have written it because somebody wanted it that way. And it's like, that is a bad argument. Like, you cannot be like, this exists, so somebody must have wanted it. Like, that's not how things work. But that's enough of that. He's a good guy. All right. You know what I haven't watched yet, and I've been meaning to watch is what is it? Jennifer's Body. I've been meaning to watch it for like decades. Maybe not decades, but like for years and years. It's like the anti-slasher. I mean, it's still a slasher, but it turns the genre on its head in some key ways. You know, it's like the final girl. Well, I can't remember exactly, and I don't remember, and it'll be good. I'll watch it the next couple of days probably. 28 days later, 28 weeks later, really good movies. 28 years later, surprisingly also very good movie. Not maybe not very good, but good. Good, enjoyable. All right. Let's give a nice erase of the guidelines here, and maybe we'll get in with some color, some worm color. Let's do crayons. Oh, I missed. What's the question? This is called Tumbleweed. It's pretty wormy. I'm going to use this for my base coat. Yeah. Yeah. It's Oh, okay, okay. Sometimes it's hard to, well, sometimes the chat is a little um timing timing wise. Ooh, I think this one's a good pink. It's salmon. This feels like a good mixer. Oh yeah, this. I mean, I guess worms might be a little bit darker, but this feels very wormy to me. All right. Looking good, looking good. Why don't we give the... Still, I am unhappy with the wheels, but I am moving forward. If we were going to use this for a product, I would just redo the wheels on the computer. Or, no, that's probably what I would do. Wait, are they circles? Like, would just a circle be the right? Sometimes my brain does not. Whoa. Okay. This is not making circles today. So, like, sometimes, depending on the perspective. So I think based on the perspective that we're doing here, circles basically fine. I don't remember all the rules for perspective all the time. But thinking about it, I'm not really doing enough perspective for it to make a huge difference. So we'll just do circles. It looks more right than what I was doing. Ooh, that yellow's too bright. Macaroni and cheese, hell yeah. Macaroni and cheese wheels, baby. Kraft cheese and macaroni. Okay, so there's a commercial that came out when I was young, and it was about Kraft macaroni and cheese, and then they were like, we have so much cheese, it's Kraft cheese and macaroni. And I think about that commercial so much. It's terrible. They poisoned my mind with Kraft cheese and macaroni. Like, what a ridiculously effective advertising slogan that I'm never going to get out of my head. I'm going to do blue for the hat. I think blue wasn't a terribly unnatural or uncommon color in the 1880s because there's a couple different ways you can get a blue dye. Especially a lighter blue like this. So I think you might have had a blue derby hat like this in the 1800s. And then I don't know, just regular color for the skateboard. I don't have a black crayon, so let's use a black pencil. What's the next thing? Ooh, yeah, bear paws and a stick of butter. Let's just do all grip tape. I was going to do like a different configuration, but I don't think we'll ink this guy. Oh, maybe we'll give him ink. He has like an ace of clubs on his neck tattoo. Yeah, grip tape is what's on the top of skateboards. It's like a black sandpaper. And so sometimes people will, if you're skateboarding a lot, you'll take your grip tape and you'll cut it up, or you'll cut a pattern into it, or you sometimes in the middle of the skateboard there'll be like a design, and so you won't grip tape that part. You just grip tape where you stand and the front and back, so you can do tricks and stuff, and get up over curbs. So I was saying originally that I would do something like that, but then I decided that I'd just do grip tape across the whole thing. This is a skateboarder, but he's a skateboarder from the 1800s for some reason, or I guess the early 1900s. And it says mom. So there was this, I was taught when I was young that when you cut a worm in half, it would grow into two worms. Well, that's not true of like earthworms. It's only true of like flatworms, and only some flatworms. It's a fascinating truth, a fascinating fact. But I learned a very generalized version that's just mixed max. We're doing a stick of butter, but after that, Oh, I'm sorry, Unknown Planet. That sucks. Ooh, a worm pecking for small birds. I'm trying to think about this. Butter. So, let me switch pencils. No. So, you have, okay. Okay, let's start with the butter plate. And then we want to be seeing it from above because we want to see paw prints in it, right? So we'll start with the butter plate from above. Sometimes, oh no, that seems right. And we'll do 2-point perspective, but I'm not going to actually do it. I'm just going to fake it. I mean, I'm just going to go by intuition. So I might be a little wrong. I've seen somebody. Ooh, no. A stick of butter. The first one. So, 2-point perspective. Then the only things that should be parallel are the up and down lines. Well, like things that are on the same plane. Oh no, they shouldn't even be parallel. They should meet just the up and down lines. Okay. But sometimes I do this. Yeah, so like okay. Let's see. Okay, that looks pretty normal. Because I'm not getting out vanishing points and putting them all over. I'm just kind of going for it. It's not always technically correct. But I figure if it's good enough for some of the great masters, it's good enough for me. I mean, listen, I tried for a really long time to do full 2-point perspective and everything, and I'd like to. I don't have the space or the equipment or the not obsessive disorder in order to do it. It's like really, oh, sorry guys. Well, yeah, I think it looks good too. Thank you. Thank you. But like, to do true 2-point perspective, you got to be like, so these two lines are converging and like they're going to meet like 2 feet over that way. And like, I need a dot over there where I can have these line, you know what I mean? Like in the same, these two lines are going to meet and they're going to meet over there like 1,000 feet from here. Not 1,000, but like 4 feet. And if I wanted to draw something this big in this relative perspective and 2-point perspective, I would need to figure that out. And like, I'm not doing that. I want to, or I used to want to. Now I'm just like, that's not, that wasn't meant for me. But I think it's funny, you know, I talk about this sometimes where people go around and they're like, this is AI. Here's how I know. And it's like really dumb reasons. One one that I've seen is people will take these and they will like shrink this down and then they'll like find out where the vanishing point is on this one and then they'll find out where the vanishing point is here because they should meet in the same point and they won't. They'll meet at 2 different points and they'll be like, see, it's AI because they don't know how to do 2-point perspective and a human artist definitely would. And it's like if you did that test on like, let's say, like Da Vinci, it would fail. Like it's not how, that's not a hard and fast thing. I don't know. It's just another one of those weird let me show you how I know this is AI, and like you're just showing me your biases. Okay, I have to get to the bear paws. Oh yeah, cheese from the back. You gotta. Ah. Okay, I looked up bear paw prints to see what they look like because I don't know. I've seen bear paw prints, but it was once when I was a little kid. Okay, so they look like I want to see a photo. Okay. Whoa. They look like almost like people prints. Okay, let's do, I don't know, grizzly. Or should it be polar bear because nah, we'll do grizzlies. Grizzly's fine. Okay. They kind of look like Bigfoot. How do bears walk? Okay, it looks like they do. Um, so you know how cats will walk so that every one of their footfalls will fall in the same footprint. Have you seen this? It's really interesting. It's why they call models catwalking. So basically, a cat will put its first foot. It's hard to draw. It's put a first foot here, and then when it lifts up its back foot to move that, it'll also put it there. Huh. How does one draw this? So you have a cat, and he lifts up his first foot, and he puts it there. Then he lifts up his, well, yeah, just watch a video. Yeah, it looks like they're very human looking. And then it looks like they just do like one, and then its back foot would land here also. That's what I was trying to. Okay, let's do that. We'll have it just go off the edge here. Make like a little. We'll have like a, maybe even like a slip. And I think we have to do the same on this side. Have it be like, okay, that looks good. Like he's climbed up on here and then climbed over. Where's she? Okay. Man, this would be a really funny drawing to turn into like an oil painting. And just like have it be this surreal, like really realistic, or not realistic, but like traditionalist, like Norman Rockwell style. Maybe not oil then, like wash. But it's just like a tiny bear climbing a stick of butter, or is it a giant stick of butter? I love it. I love the idea. Like it doesn't. Okay. Pardon me. So, what do we got? Just plain yellow. What does this look like? It's too yellow for butter. Whoa. What is a Gel FX crayon? Do you guys see this? It's very yellow. Laser lemon. It's going to be too yellow. It's lasery. All right, I think we're going to have to use a nice colored pencil and some gentle shading. Yeah. Good night, unknown. Thanks for being here. It's good talking, good having you. Okay. So butter is yellow because cows eat things that have beta carotene in it, and then that beta carotene, which is like what gives carrots its color and like peppers and stuff, gets into their life, and then that turns into um, that turns their milk a darker color. And then when you mix a bunch of milk to make butter, because you need like lots of different cows' milk to make butter. Well, especially now, the way we consume it, but even back in the day, it will become yellow. And as we controlled what cows were eating and gave them feed instead of having them just eat whatever they find in the field, they were getting a lot less beta carotene. So cow's milk was much less yellow than it used to be. But people were already really used to butter being yellow, so they started adding it in. And usually they would use like a different source. It wouldn't be, they didn't add it into their diets, right? I think they might now, but they didn't at first. And what's really interesting about that, so right, that's the same reason seasoned cheddar is yellow, because if you use the different milk to make cheddar, it comes out a different color because of the same thing. Like the milk is a different colors. But yeah, we don't generally, when they do milk, actually, I don't know why milk, regular milk is always so white. Is it might be because they make sure the cows don't have any beta carotene in their diets, because it would make it gross. It would make people grossed out to have yellow milk. But it might just be because like the process at which they use to, I bet you it's that. It could be the process that they use to pasteurize it burns up beta carotene. I'm not sure though. That doesn't make sense. I think it must be the other one. So when margarine first came out, they had a law against artificial butter. And I think the law came out after margarine. Like basically they were like, hey, none of that. And so you weren't allowed to make it yellow. So margarine could not be sold yellow. It had to be sold. Well, there's two different kinds. There was some laws that said it had to be sold pink. So like all margarine for at least a little while in some states had to be pink. And then eventually it couldn't be colored to look like butter. And so it would be just white, like very, very weird and pasty white, kind of like a Crisco. And so then they would include with your margarine just these fun little yellow food dyes. And so I remember my Nana telling me when she was a girl, you would get these yellow food dyes in your margarine. You'd mix them in before you started using the margarine. And I just think that's so funny. She'd get this tin of margarine and then like mix in the food dye. this is... What the... Okay. Well, that's okay. All right. What am I doing? There we go. I thought put up a split rail fence right quick, and then we can put up a sign. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, we can do it in stencil letters. I actually cannot do it in stencil letters this small. What? Do not the? Get out of here, dummy. I was thinking so much about stencil letters. I like this because it means there's only one bear. And they know about them. Say butter. Yeah. Oh yeah, farm butter. That's a good farm raised butter. What is it when it's like please don't pick butter. And, like people are picking your flowers. All right. I think that's it for tonight's late night stream. I think we did pretty good. We got do not feed the butter. We got earthworm. We have Jim over here skateboarding. And we have amalgam of eyes. Amalgam eyes. You know, I will. What time is it? I got like 5 minutes left. Let's throw a little ink on this guy and then call it a night. Yeah, let's call it a night. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Be on tomorrow. Tomorrow's a streaming day. Probably not a late night. Hopefully it'll be sometime around 6 or 7 New York time, but we'll see. It's hard to tell these days. I've been a little under the weather. Oh, sorry, Mixed Max. If you catch me tomorrow, I wasn't going to do a worm with... I was thinking about doing a woman who was pecking for worms. I thought that would be fun. You were saying a giant worm pecking for birds. But, yeah, check it out tomorrow. We'll figure something out. All right. Good night.